When Sicil arrived at Sebastian's doorstep, her heart hammered against her chest like a relentless drumbeat. With trembling hands, she raised her fist to knock, the sound echoing through the stillness of the morning air. Moments later, the door swung open, revealing Sebastian's familiar face framed by a mixture of surprise and anticipation. "Sicil!" Sebastian's voice was laced with confusion, his brow furrowed inquisitively. "What are you doing here so early? Are you not going to college today?" Taking a deep breath to steady her nerves, Sicil met Sebastian's gaze with determination. "Sebastian, we need to talk." Sebastian's expression softened with understanding as he stepped aside to usher her in the warmth of his home. "Of course, come on in." As Sicil entered, she was enveloped by Sebastian's familiar comfort. Seated across from Sebastian in the cozy confines of his living room, Sicil took a moment to gather her thoughts before speaking. "Sebastian," she began. "Seb," he corrected, ignoring his correction, her voice trembling with emotion. "Well, as you know, we need to talk, but I would like to do it in private." And so they entered the house library. She closed the door behind her, ready to confront Sebastian for keeping her in dark, her eyes betraying the storm raging within. "Thank you for the letters, Seb," she began, her voice trembling slightly with restrained emotion. "But don't you think you should have sent them to me when you wrote them?" Her frustration simmered just beneath the surface as she continued, her words laced with a hint of anger. "Do you have any idea how it feels to discover all these words of love and affection years after you wrote them? How could you hide your feelings from me for so long, Seb? How was I supposed to know that you loved me when the only contact I had from you were birthday and New Year's wishes?" Her questions hung in the air, the weight of her disappointment palpable. Sicil's eyes bore into Sebastian's, silently demanding an explanation for years of silence and truth. Her voice quivered with pent-up frustration as she continued, her words tinged with hurt and resentment. "I'm not some Saint Seb, capable of devoting my life to the hope that one day you might find me attractive. Or one day you might love me," she confessed, her tone raw with emotion. "What were you thinking? How could you not leave any clue that you loved me all along? Did you expect me to wait around for you, clinging to false hope while you were off living your life?" Her eyes bore into his, searching for answers in the depths of his gaze. "I deserved to know, Seb," she insisted, her voice cracking with emotion. "I deserved to know that I was loved, that I was not just some distant memory from your past, but instead you left me in the dark, wondering if I was ever truly important to you." Sicil's voice trembled with a mixture of anger and hurt as she confronted Sebastian with her suspicions. "All this time, all I knew was that you had found someone for yourself and you didn't care for me at all," she accused, her words laced with bitterness. "Every birthday, every New Year's, I waited for a sign, for a glimpse of the love you claimed to have for me. But all I got were empty promises and hollow words. How could you let me believe that I was nothing to you, Seb? How could you stand by and watch me suffer in silence, without so much as a single gesture of love or affection?" As she spoke, Sicil poured her heart out to Sebastian, laying bare the raw truth of her feelings and the tumultuous journey that had led her to this moment. She spoke of her love for him, unfiltered and unashamed, bearing her soul in a way she never thought possible. Sebastian's voice wavered with a mix of frustration and desperation as he countered Sicil's accusations. "How could you ever doubt my feelings for you, Sicil?" he asked, his tone pleading for understanding. "Did you not know that you were the only girl in my life from the moment you were born until the day I left? Have you ever seen me with anyone else? Have I ever given you a reason to believe that there could be another in my life?" He paused, allowing his words to sink in before continuing. "From the time you were born to the moment I left, I was there for you, Sicil. I was a constant presence in your life, playing with you as kids, looking out for you in school, taking you to dances, movies, picnics, and driving you around town. Was there ever a time when you were not in my thoughts, when you were not a part of my life? How could you even dream of questioning my love for you?" Sebastian's voice softened as he continued, his eyes searching Sicil's for any hint of understanding. Does love only mean saying those 3 words, I love you? Did you not feel love in every action I took, in every moment we shared? Yes, I never kissed you, Sicil, because I did not think it was the right thing to do when we were still in school. I planned a 2-year trip, thinking that by the time I returned, you would be midway through your college, and then I could express my love to you like any boyfriend would. He took a deep breath, his heart laid bare before her. You have no idea how difficult those extra years were for me after my uncle passed away. All I wanted was to be by your side, to hold you close while going through my pain. But I could not, Sicil. I had to stay behind and take care of my aunt and cousins. All this time, all I have ever wanted was to be with you. Sebastian's words hung in the air, heavy with emotion. It feels like you never understood me, Sicil, he whispered, his voice saddened. Despite all the years we spent together, all the moments we shared, it feels like you never truly saw me for who I was. You questioned my love, my intentions, but did you ever stop to consider how I felt? How much do you mean to me? He took a step closer, his eyes searching hers for any sign of recognition. I understand that you are hurt, Sicil. I understand that my absence left a void in your life, but please, try to see things from my perspective. I never stopped loving you, not for a single moment. Everything I did, every decision I made was with you in mind. Can you say the same? His voice cracked with emotion as he continued, laying bare his vulnerability. I have always been here for you, Sicil. Through joys and sorrows, I have stood by your side, but it feels like you never truly saw me, never understood the depth of my love for you. And now, here we are, torn apart by misunderstandings and unknown truths. He paused, his heart heavy with the weight of his words. I am not perfect, Sicil. I have made mistakes just like everyone else, but please, do not let those mistakes overshadow the love that has always existed between us. I am here now, ready to make things right, ready to show you just how much you mean to me. Please, give me a chance to prove myself to you. Just think, Sicil, Sebastian said, his voice gentle yet filled with sincerity. I never asked you why you didn't contact me. I never asked you why you never called, because I always thought you cared for me just as I care for you. I never wanted to disturb you late in the night, just like how you did not want to wake me up in the middle of the night. He took a moment, letting his words sink in. Love, for me, was always about understanding and trust. I trusted that you were living your life just as I was living mine. I never doubted that our connection, our bond, would not withstand the test of time. But now, it feels like that trust has been shattered. Sebastian looked into Sicil's eyes, hoping to convey the depth of his feelings. I never questioned your love, Sicil. Even in your silence, I felt your presence. I believe that one day we will reunite and share our lives again. And here we are, but instead of joy, there's confusion and pain. Can we find a way back to each other? Beyond the hurt and the questions, can we rebuild what time and distance has tried to take away? As Sicil listened to Sebastian's heartfelt words, a wave of realization washed over her. Sebastian was right. He'd never given her any reason to doubt his feelings for her. He had been a constant presence in her life, always there for her, even when they were miles apart. She felt a pang of guilt for ever questioning his love. But then a lingering doubt crept into her mind. Sebastian had never explicitly said those 3 words, I love you. How was she supposed to know for sure? She could not help but ask him, Seb, what would you do if you weren't sure of someone's feelings? With a heavy heart, Sicil confessed, Seb, if only you had just only once said what I meant to you, I would have waited for you for eternity. But you never did, and I felt lost, uncertain of where I stood in your life. She looked at him, her eyes brimming with emotion, hoping for some reassurance, some confirmation of his feelings for her. Top of form, as she gazed into Sebastian's eyes, she saw something she had longed for all her life. Acceptance, understanding, and above all, love. Sebastian stood there, his gaze filled with affection as he looked deep into Sicil's eyes. Sicil, he began softly, his voice filled with sincerity. I love you. I have loved you for as long as I can remember. You are the one who fills my thoughts, my dreams, my every waking moment. I may not have said it aloud before, but my feelings for you have always been there, silently guiding me, anchoring me to you. I know I have not always shown it in the most obvious ways, but please believe me when I say this. You mean everything to me." Each word he spoke was deliberate, his confession pouring forth from the depths of his heart, hoping to convey the depth of his love for her. As Sebastian said those words, Sicil's world shook, her emotions swirling like a tempest within her. Tears streamed down her cheeks uncontrollably, a mixture of joy, confusion, and uncertainty flooding her senses. Sebastian's confession, so long awaited and cherished, now left her grappling with a multitude of pain. Witnessing Sicil's tears, Sebastian's heart clenched with a mix of relief and anxiety. He longed to comfort her, to ease the storm raging within her. Yet he knew this was a journey she had to navigate on her own. Gently he reached out, his touch tender as he brushed away her tears. "Sicil, I understand if this is overwhelming. You do not have to say anything now," he murmured softly, his voice laced with understanding and compassion. Struggling to find her voice amidst the havoc of emotions, Sicil managed a faint smile through her tears. "Seb, I need time to figure things out. It is not about you. It is about me and what I feel," she confessed, her words trembling with emotion. Deep down, she knew she had to confront her feelings for Ethan and reconcile them with the newfound realization of Sebastian's love. The complexities of her heart lay bare before her, demanding introspection and resolution. So Sicil broached the subject of Ethan, her words like a sharp sword on Sebastian's heart, while her voice trembled with emotion as she poured out her heart to Sebastian. "Ethan has been an integral part of my life since the day we started university," she confessed, her gaze focused as she met Sebastian's eyes. "He was there for me during times of uncertainty and self-doubt, guiding me through the darkest hours with support and understanding. He made me smile again, made me believe in myself when I felt unloved and lost." Her voice faltered slightly as she continued, the depth of her feelings evident in every word. "You have to understand, Seb, that Ethan holds a special place in my heart. I cannot just ignore him or the bond we share. He is important to me in ways that I cannot even begin to express." Sicil spoke, and Sebastian listened intently, his expression a mixture of understanding and conflict. Though he longed to sweep her away from the shadows of doubt and insecurity, he knew that the path ahead would be fraught with challenges and complex decisions. Yet, even in the face of uncertainty, his love for Sicil remained steadfast. "Sicil," Sebastian interjected gently with a hint of apprehension. "I appreciate your honesty, I really do, but right now all that matters to me is that you are here with me." Sebastian clarified his intentions, Sicil's brow furrowed in confusion, a myriad of emotions swirling within her. She understood Sebastian's desire to shield their moment together from the complexities of outside relationships, yet she could not shake the feeling that it was not fair to Ethan. "Seb," she began, her voice soft but resolute, "I appreciate your sentiment, I really do, but I cannot ignore the impact Ethan has had on my life. My feelings for him are real and deep. He has been there for me in ways that I cannot just dismiss." Sebastian's expression softened, his gaze meeting Sicil's with understanding. "I know Sicil," he replied, his voice gentle, "and I am not asking you to forget about him. I just want you to know that I am here for you, no matter what." Sicil nodded, a sense of gratitude washing over her, though Sicil longed to delve deeper into the intricacies of her relationship with Ethan. She could not ignore the vulnerability in Sebastian's eyes, the plea for understanding. With a heavy heart, she acquiesced to his silent request, knowing that some truths were better left unspoken, for now at least, so she decided to head home and take one day at a time.